Satyagi, that is how to plan for startup and legal ethical. And we have our esteemed guest of honor, respected Sir Shri R. Srinivasan ji, Head of IPR for a IP Solution, Advocate and IP Attorneys. And we are going to conduct this program under the guidance of our respected director, ma'am, Dr. Monica Rastogi, who has been a source of inspiration and guidance to us. As we all know, ICC, Institution Innovation Council of IIMT College of Law, is organizing a series of events to inculcate among the youth the spirit of research, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Today, we have Mr. R. Srinivasan ji, who will be our speaker, and Sir will be speaking on the present topic. It is our honor and privilege to have Sri R. Srinivasan ji as a guest of honor who will be enlightening us on the topic how to plan for startup and legal and ethical steps. A welcome that does not descend from pale grey matter of the brain, but rushes from red blood of the heart. We welcome you, sir. Sri R. Srinivasan ji is founder of 4AIP Solution, and to fulfill his passion after gaining professional experience for 28 years in various industries and verticals, capabilities and desire to assess technology-based and pharmaceutical companies around the globe. Sir has handled various verticals in business development with India's topmost brands and worked in a lead role for multiple launches in India and international, and diligently handled crucial decisions in brand placing, strategies building, and establishment. As a passionate towards technology, filed 2 patents in India and continuing multiple research in pursuit of new inventions. Since Sir has good acumen towards entrepreneurship, has supported many startups for end-to-end guidance in respect of various legal and compliance subject matter. As a keen absorber and interest towards writing, has written number of articles regarding technology and IPR. As a self-interest and passion HMN, Sir has conducted various seminars and conferences across India and also a life member of NHRD. Adding to his portfolio, he is also member of NASCOM, understands the client's invention at ease, let it be the domain of computer, telecommunication, electronics, electrical, and assist to make them understanding which we welcome you, sir, to enlighten our young minds with your unending source of knowledge and guidance. Heartiest welcome to you, sir. Over to you. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for giving me the
Welcome,
dare.
sir. Welcome.
And I'm honored to present and get associated with IIMT as a whole group. And since this would be my first presentation in terms to your College of Law, and the topic seems to be very interesting. Startup, legal, ethical, and all, and probably people from the law industry would be more interested in really to understand what are the various aspects to be looked into in respective to once they pass out from their degrees and they get into the real time world to really understand how they can communicate to the client and what are the minimum strata is required to start a startup. So I'm obliged to take this topic, and I'm honored again, once again. Thanks a lot, and it's not only for that Rohini ma'am and all. I think entire lot stream of IIMT is persuading in this structure, and probably we would be having a very great interaction for coming days too. I'm expecting the same from you people. Like, see, let me come to the topic which has been given already. I am late because of all technical snacks which has happened. So let me come to the topic. The topic, as we said, how to plan for a startup. When we say how, first we have to really understand what is a startup. Unless and until we understand what is a startup, there is no point in talking about compliances and the legal subject matter. See, when we say a startup, lot many people think any venture, anybody is starting is a startup. It's not like that. Startup is not a thing which is just anybody is doing anything. No, there are some parameters which is scattered and which terminology is what is a startup is all about. When we say it is a startup, it means that a business or an entrepreneurship with a good idea and the ideology with foolproof technology and which is new to the industry, that is considered under the startup. It is not kisi I'm doing a want to start up a mega store. I will say it is a startup. It is not like that. If my technology or something new which I am going to bring into the industry, along with along with some technical know-how, which makes a new product or a new services which is not available in the industry or something unique I'm going to do, that is termed as startup. We have to be very clear what is a startup karke. When you talk to a lot of people, they will be saying, yeah, I've started with a new venture and all. No, no, not like that. Startup terminology has been well defined by government of India and it has been very well recognized by the government of India. So please be very clear as a legal fraternity when you go out, and those people who are already into the streams, they should also know startup कुछ ऐसा चीज नहीं है जो ऑलरेडी चल रहा है उसमें से उठा के कर दिया. No, not like that. Something unique should be there. Uniqueness can be in terms of product, uniqueness can be in terms of services, uniqueness can be in terms of technology. So these three combination when we talk about it, it means it's a startup in real terms, in a real term. Now, when you have this type of a startup, first of all, we have to understand what are the legal steps we have to really, undergo, or we should be very practically doing all those steps, covering those steps, so that our venture should be in a profitable note. That is the bottom line of any entrepreneur or any startup. So let us start from the fundamental. Like, when you start up, it's not just a startup. Ideas come, then definitely you will be developing those prototypes and those things which, because of which the ideas come and you want to take it up further. The first step which comes up with the startup is what name to be kept for an organization. What is the name? What is the uniqueness? What is the unique name we have to keep? Because so many companies are opened up in India. If you talk about India, per month I can say around, which is registered by ROC of India is not less than 11 to 14,000 companies. So you can imagine last 50 years, so many companies, 70 years rather, so many companies would have opened. So you have to be very choosy in the name, very calculative in the name selection per se. And you should not overlap the other company's name. It should involve, it should tell about your company's profile also. The names are chosen like that only. And it should, if it is a technological company, it should talk about the technology and the uniqueness. Yes. So the names what you are going to select, that is the first step. Once you select the name, the prima facie of any startup is to register the company. That is the first foremost legal step which we have to take care. So if
Ishita ma'am, unmute yourself. Hello. Hello, Ishita ma'am.
Guys, can you hear me? Am
Yes,
I
ma'am.
guys? Due to some network issues, sir is not able to, connect with us. So please be patient. Sir will be connecting back with us. And
Okay,
sorry
ma'am.
for the inconvenience during the meeting. Sir will be reverting back to the meeting very fast. We are trying to connect with the sir. Yes, guys, please be connected because this is very important. And sir is basically going to inform you regarding IPR, innovation in IPR. Sir is very learned and very renowned advocate. And sir will also be briefing you regarding how to do startups. So kindly, please be in the meeting.
Sorry everybody. There was a technical snag and it got disconnected. And thanks for to be patient enough to be staying back. I hope my voice is audible right now.
Yes, sir, your voice is audible.
Right. Thanks a lot. So I was talking about when you have to select a right name. Once the right name is selected, then you have to choose in what parameter you have to start your company. Various methods are available. Various the types of companies what we say as it can be a proprietorship concern, it can be a partnership concern, it can be a concern with partnership LLP, that is limited liability partnership. It can be a private limited. If there is no more further directors or partners, you can have one person company also, which is a private limited, which is a new system which has been added up, in ROC, MCA of India, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. And obviously, there is the bigger size, bigger volumetric companies are limited company, public limited companies, or a limited company with an individual shareholdings. So these are the various method, the types I can say through which you can start up a company. But to start a startup company, what is minimum requirement is at least there should be two-person, because that shows the value and it shows that seriousness of the people. So nowadays what is happening in the startup ecosystem is uh, they start up the system and they need financial grants or financial support from the industry. Lot of new entrepreneurs, youngsters who are starting up what they have an idea they want, but they don't have a funds. So normally what they do is they want to have a startup. So I would request all the startup to really start with a private limited company or minimum as an LLP, because what happens when a venture capitalist or a seed fund is allocated to any person, any company on the basis of technology, they also see the team size and what are the capabilities of the team size. And honestly, you would admire that one person cannot be Mr. Know-all. He cannot be a Mr. Know-all, he or she, because a lot of things are required to establish an organization or a firm. So always better to have at least two people to share the entire load of the company's operations and other things. So always better to have a minimum as a LLP registered, as a partnership LLP registered or a private limited. It gives a serious note or serious output to the person who is meeting you, or when you are talking to your clients or to the venture capitalist or the seed funders. So always better to go for a LLP or a private limited concern. So that is my humble submission for any entrepreneur who is going to start up. Now, when you have to understand some of the nitty gritty of creating what, whether it is a private limited, then what are the advantages you have. If you are starting up with a LLP, then what are the advantages, what are the parameters, and what are the parameters you have to really understand for the future. Also, what are the other requisite requirements in respective to the accounting per se also. So it is very much important when you start up a LLP, it itself states partnership form with a LLP, that is called limited liability partnership. So probably as a law student or the team of the legal side, you would be really understand, definitely you would be understanding what is a limited liability. If supposedly you are starting up a company and you are not, though every entrepreneur starts with an aim it should grow bigger, but you don't want to take the liability of the vendor's payment or any sort of a liability of the company, because company is a different thing and the directors are different thing. They are the two different entities. So in that perspective, if you are looking forward and you don't want to take the liability in future also, the liability will be very much limited in respect to the share staking. And if on the basis of the number of shares allocated, there would be some ratios to be calculated out. And in that ratio, if you want to have limited liability, then you should go for a LLP, limited liability partnership form. Because what happens when you start up with a partner, normally it goes very well. हर चीज हरा भरा लगता है, लेकिन थोड़े दिन जाने के बाद that पता चला वो हरा भरा जो है पीला पीला हो गया है, because you don't have the same wavelength, you don't have the same energy level. One will say I am working more than you, and the second one will say no yeah, I am doing better job than you. So these type of problems comes in, the entire जो system है वो खराब होता है. So to, if you are not very sure about your partners, it is preferred to go for an LLP, so that the liability will not land up to the director levels people or the partner level people. So now once you have created the organization, you have created a name, you have filed your company in an ROC. One thing you have to really understand, when we say ROC, there are two different documents and detailed documents are also getting grants or submitted so that you can run the business. That is called MOA and AOA. You have to memorandum of article and article of association. ये दोनों चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है. इट इज नॉट अ कट पेस्ट कॉपी, मतलब किसी और का देखा हमने छेप दिया. इट कैन नॉट हैपन, बिकॉज every industry or every firm is different from one another. It cannot be very common to a firm that can be cut pasted and kept at same MOA or AOA to firm B. It cannot happen like that, because my firm would be different from yours, your firm would be different from other person, and the responsibilities, job roles, functionalities, shareholding system, and who is responsible for what particular profile, all these things has to be very well defined when you are filing your company. 99% of Indian companies don't take otherwise. They just go to CA, बोल दिया फाइल करना है, उन्होंने क्या क्या इसका उठा के उसमें डाल दिया, that's it. Please be very sure, or when you give a proper input to your client, make sure tell them the difference between cut paste copy and how a MOA or AOA has to be done. That is very important. drafted. It is not so easy. So be very clear in that respect also. So this is what I just wanted to add on to you guys. Now you have created the company, name has been selected, partners has been selected, job roles has been decided, who is going to do what, how it has to be done, everything has been decided, right? Now, what happens is there are few parameters, or I can say commercial law activities, which is very much important before proceeding further. First of all, when you create a LLP, a partnership firm, or a private limited, you should know what are the minimum compliances which is mandate to be taken care of. First minimum compliances is the annual general meeting of all the directors, which is a mandate to be done within 30 days of filing an ROC or the grant of the ROC. That is your name registration के बाद तुरंत आपको एक resolution pass करना होगा कि who is going to do what are the job and who is going to be your auditor, because your resolution is going to appointing of an auditor, what we say as that resolution for an auditor is going to be valid for 5 years. So you have to be very serious about selecting your auditor. That is very much mandate, because if you are doing business but it is not put up in a right fashion or in a right passion to before the seed funders or before fundraisers and all, it is not going to work out. Number one. Number two, if you have a self funds, self finances and all, still in that case also, if your auditor is not a right person to guide you in a right format, what to be done in a right, how to be taken forward, because as far as startup is concerned, number of schemes are being provided. So you have to be very clear in choosing your auditor. ऐसा नहीं है कि मेरे बगल में एक CA बैठा है उसको दे देंगे. No, no, not like that. You should know whether your CA is capable enough in understanding your business and taking your financial things in a right format and presenting those financial things to the bankers or to your financiers or to the seed fund or to your other partners, whatever it may be. It should be properly selection of a CA is very much important. So be very clear as you are selecting your partners, you have to select your CA because he is also one of the arm for running an entrepreneur to run a business. So be very clear, select a right CA and proceed further. Once the resolution is passed, other compliances has to be taken care. The major compliances are GST. Now you know what is the GST. 99% of the people would have heard about 99.99 in fact, and everybody knows what is the GST. First of all, you have to abide by all the laws of the government of India, all the taxation provisions in respective to the sales tax, in respective to the central tax, in respective to your income tax. All the papers should be intact and it should be perfect. All the things has to be compiled in a right format, submitted in a right format from time to time. And once you create a private limited, you have to submit your annual turnovers to the ROC in a right format. You have to submit your what you call annual returns to the ROC. You cannot just say, "यार अभी तो धंधा नहीं आया पड़ा है." If you don't have got the business also, once you have filed, lot of startup I have seen they have filed the company, but actual business technically I can say the actual business starts only after a year because they have to develop a lot of other things to do, other things they have to really undergo, like website technology, so many things, prototype production, whatever it may be. If the services they have to create the infra, okay, in that perspective it may take an year's time, but don't think that you are getting an bandwidth of year's time. If the business has not been done, you have to file a GST, that there is a nil return. Still you have to file your income tax, that through this business I have not got any taxes. I have not earned anything. I don't want to pay the income tax. Through this, the company tax, commercial tax, what we say about. So you have to be very clear. If it's a nil return also, you have to file nil return. If you have done a business, whatever the revenue you have earned, on the basis of that, the slab of the taxations are varying. So on the basis of that, you have to pay the taxes. So the compliance का सबसे बड़ा और अहम चीज है compliance of taxes, whether it is the I'm repeating it again, whether it is a central tax or service tax or GST or your income tax, that has to be very well planned and done in a submitted in a right format. Then you have to really understand the other compliances also. The major compliances after the taxation is the purpose of starting of an entrepreneur. You have to understand all the government schemes which has been provided, where all you have to register yourself, like there are number of startup facilities has been provided, like DIP, SIP, so many things are there. District in industrial promotion board and all also there. You can file there and get registered. You can get registered with MSME, a small and medium scale entrepreneur, because these are the things are going to save in one way or the other. For example, if you are filing with your company with MSME, and if anything you are doing, it's a startup business, there are few legal support is given by the MSME. Like for example, you are supplied a material to a particular vendor and you don't get the payment within 45 days. You can approach MSME and tell them ki I am not getting the payment. Since you are a registered member of an MSME, the rule says that any MSME registered entrepreneur, if the payment is not been given within 45 days, then they can proceed legally, that too free of cost. MSME will take up the charge. They will do the legal proceedings. They will approach them, and there will be penalty to the person or the vendor who has not paid you the money. So many other things are also there. And moreover, you have to really understand another thing is you have to that in the taxation also. When we say the startup, it is not a startup for 1 year or 2 years. Startup जो होता है इंडिया का, they consider as a startup for complete 10 years. It is not for 1 year. Supposedly you are starting your entrepreneurship journey in registering your company by 2021. You will be termed as a startup till 2031. So it's a 10-year bandwidth is there. And Government of India is giving lot of provisions. For example, you can not, if you don't want to submit the returns, you have a bandwidth of 3 years out of the entire 10 years. Any of the choice is yours. If you don't want to pay the taxes, you can avoid. That is, tax exemptions are given. So you should know all the rules and regulation in respective to the commercial law, that is taxation law, which is very much important. Once you understand all these things, that is why I said when you choose the right CA, he will be guiding you step by step all these things. What are the commercial law? What are the things? There are the exemptions can be taken. How we can proceed in respective to taking the company further on, and so then apart from this, the another important thing is you have created, you have done, you have kept a name, everything has been done. That is called IPR compliances. IPR compliances are very much important because IPR, I hope you all understand intellectual property rights. So in intellectual property, it consists trademark. If it is a technology side, it's a patent. If it is a design side, it is a design patent. If it is something related to your content, your content, as well as your source code of your website or your theme, those are the things goes under Copyright Act. So wherever and whichever is applicable, I would rather say wherever and whichever is applicable to your startup journey, you have to get compliance with your IPR. The reason behind it is if you don't do, and supposedly you have created you started your venture and you are doing very well, and a person is seeing that it is doing well, immediately they will copy it, and the copycats will immediately go for IPR filing, and you won't have any claim rather later on. So it is very clear, once you start up your venture, you have to be very clear with the IPR filings and safeguarding your all intellectual which through which you have started your venture. This is also very much important to be really understood. And there are other compliances which you have to take care of are in fact labor law. For example, you're starting up an industry with a labor intensive, or you're starting with an industry where only managerial cadre It depends upon what sort of an entrepreneur journey you are planning to start up. On the basis of that, your labor law will get into into force. That is very much important to really understand. Because you are starting up a factory. Let me assume you are starting up a production unit, and you don't compliance with the labor law, and you want your laborers to be working for 12 hours or 15 hours. If it is complaint, then you are gone. You don't have a PF, it is gone. If you are not having an ESA facility for your employees, then also it's a problem. Because these are the things are given by the government. There are few cost benefits for the entrepreneur too. For example, you can talk about ESI. Normally, what happens, we know about medical insurance and medical insurance which is normally available, which are of high cost. Whereas for the laborers and up to the mid management level, I can say not even mid management, laborers only, you can go with ESI policy, which is given by the central government. If anything happens to your worker, that will be taken care, whether it is within the premises or outside the premises. In both the cases, ESIC is taking care of the employees. So you are not bothered. You are not supposed to get bothered कि boss कल किसी का कुछ problem आ गया तो how I am going to pay him. So probably you don't want to take an unnecessary risk. So it is better to get compliant with ESI. And there are few other compliances like, so for example, you are with a food industry. You want to start up an entrepreneur, your new venture as a food and food side, foodie side. Then obviously you need to get get compliance certificate from FSSAI and other food related safety norms. Get registered with them. Compliances you have to undergo. For example, you are going to start with the pharma side, then you need to have WHO and various FDIs and all is required to work for the pharma side. If you are not into that, you just want to have a normal IT side, then then also you should also get registered apart from the ROC with shop and act, rental act में लेके जाना, shop act के अंदर you have to work on. So these are the few compliances which you have to be seriously working on. Because what happens, these compliances, when you abide and you get registered and you follow, then automatically a person, as I said, as a startup you won't be having that much of fun. A person who is approaching for funding and all, they will be seeing all these documents. And for example, you are into the legal side and your client are coming to you and they want to really understand, anybody calls and what are the compliances I have to do, you can at least guide them. These are the compliances to be abided to really take it forward a company. See, it's something like this. मैंने तो company तो खोल दिया है, लेकिन मैं कुछ नहीं कर रहा हूँ. So it is not going to add any value to the organization, nor to the employee, nor to the system, nor to your vendor. You will not, you will never grow likewise. It will be more like a segmented market. कोई ठेले वाला रिक्शा वाला नहीं है. प्रॉपर जब कंपनी खोल रहे तो you have to do in that pattern. So apart from that, you have to take care of few. There are event based compliances are there. Event based means, particularly if you want to have a let me assume you want to showcase बड़ा rally करना है, या in fact you want to give a demo to the people in the local open area and all. So you have to go with the compliances of those norms which is normally abiding in the industry. Might be a police permission, might be a vehicular tax. If you want to have a dummy piece to be displayed in a vehicle which is carrying from one place to another, so that people can see. Lot of Godrej and other people are doing, companies are doing those sort of road shows. So those are the compliances has also to be taken very seriously when, if that is required. That is what it is called as event based compliances. So these are the various compliances which you have to really follow. As you said, the legal side, I have already explained the legal side. And when we talk about ethical steps, if you follow all these legal compliances in a right format, itself means that you are doing ethically all the business. See, ethical कुछ भी नहीं है, जितना लीगल चीजों को आप फॉलो करेंगे and righteous and religious method में फॉलो करेंगे and the papers are in a right format, then it means you are an ethical person. You are paying a tax in a right format, you are an ethical person. You are doing all the compliance in a right format, you are an ethical person. So when you are planning for a startup, all these parameters, apart from choosing the name, the technology, your partners, your CA, your auditing style, your infrastructure, your IPR, all these things cumulatively is going to give a startup a win-win situation. Please try to understand there are a number of unicorns. Now India is having around 30 unicorns. So please try to understand all these unicorns have really worked hard in terms of to maintaining their compliances. If they have not done, believe me, they cannot grow. वो कहते हैं ना लिखतम के आगे भक्तम चलता नहीं है. So all the paperwork should be done in a right format. If you don't do, believe me, you can be a starter. You would always say after 10 years, yeah, I also started a business, but यार पता नहीं क्यों fail हो गया. This will, if you are serious about your ethical things, the legal things, and if you are serious about your dream project, be very clear. All the legal and all the legal compliances has to be followed in a very professional and ethical manner. I hope I have clarified in a very brief note. Probably if anybody wants to have a questionnaire, I'm happy to answer that.
Is anybody having any question or query regarding this?
Sir, I have a question. My name is Gandhi Jayachandran.
Yeah.
A lawyer can do taxation also.
See, lawyer, technically when we talk about lawyer, there are a few lawyers who talks about I am a taxation lawyer, right?
Okay.
You would have seen number of places. I am a taxation lawyer. I am practicing taxation. But technically, those lawyers, when you talk about, they would have done their company secretaryship.
Okay.
So what happens? Previously, what it is a law. Then there were CAs. Before CA, there were ICWA, cost accounting people.
Yeah.
Okay. After that, what has happened? The CS concept came into the picture. So what CS is studying is 50% of the law and 50% of the accounting side.
Okay.
Yeah. So those people are better.
Okay. Okay.
See, law में accounting में जाओगे ही नहीं technically, honestly.
Okay.
If you want to do that, then probably I would suggest you to do CS also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome, ji. Welcome, ji.
Anybody else has something? Kindly please mute your mics. And kindly raise your hands. You will be given a chance to ask questions.
Is free to ask the questions. The reason is, सिर्फ बोलना ऑलरेडी हम लोग बोर हो चुके हैं वेबिनार में कि हम ही बोले जा रहे हैं, कोई सुन रहा है या नहीं पता ही नहीं चल रहा है. Might be, all the tabs are on and people are sleeping. So at least put some questions. Let us make more interactive.
Yes, sir. Kindly please, if you have any query, any doubt, you may ask, sir. You're free to ask the questions.
Hello. I have one query. If anyone wants to make any his startup, so generally what people is doing is they are making the approach that they are making investment from their own pockets and they're trying to arrange the funds from their savings and other things. So what are the ways so that we can grab the help? A lot of governments are also helping, but sometimes it looks that either it's very easy for the very lower side business or for the higher side business. But for the middle type of business, where we are trying to make a startup, it's very difficult to arrange the funds. So what are the best approach to manage the funds? Like for SMSEs, they are also giving lot of benefits, but not for us. So if I start any startup, then I have to make funds from my own, on my own pockets. So what is the best suggestion there? Should I go with the loan or should I arrange for ourselves?
Sir, honestly, I will tell you, everybody now talking about startup, and everybody is talking about startup only because of कहीं ना कहीं से हमें पैसा मिल जाएगा. Okay. So first we have to really understand the concept of business, which we are talking of as a startup. Nothing to demoralize, nothing to pop up the things. ठीक है? Any business you do, you have to, I said in the first stance itself, if it is unique, then only it will be termed as a startup. Uniqueness can be in terms of technology, in terms of providing a new service, new method of services. Those are the things only comes under the startup. If you are going to start yet again something which is already prevalent in the industry, definitely you will not get fund from any source, because if you go to the bankers and say I need a loan on the basis of the business, they will say how many years you have done the business, what is the IT returns, what is the turnover, then they will think on that. That too in a bank in which you have an account, that is your current account. That is a fact. So even when your banker is not going to give, how can you think somebody else who does not know they will be putting a fund? It's not possible. Okay. When you talk about a startup, common fundings, seed funding, venture capitalist, all these things are available only to those people who are innovative. The products are innovative. It means nothing in this world similar is available. You have to be very clear in choosing your business, choosing your startup. If you are going to do yet another, it will not be termed as a startup. You may say it is a startup. It is for you, it is a startup. But to technically, when I say it is not a startup, because government of India is not going to recognize you as a startup. You may file as a startup. You may get a certificate as a startup, but recognition certificate will not be given to you. Please try to understand this thing. And your query is very correct, sir. Any startup, even the technical startup also, they have to put from their pocket depending upon the technology and other things, because if it is a technical product, they have to do the prototype, they have to give all those, they have to build that prototype, meet the people, those expenditure, website, and registering a company, all these things are there. So those funds will be always from your pocket only. Practical note,
So
even the venture seed funders, they will see how much investment you have done. Okay.
So with the provided definition, it looks that if, because it's very difficult in that case to, as per the definition of this startup. So if you want to think, if you are thinking for making any production, that is obviously none of the good is which is already not in production. So either you innovate something very new or you innovate something in technology. So only technology is the something which can be called as a startup. Or because in a legal term, if you are trying to make any startup, it can never be a startup because most of the fields are already covered. So we will never get the benefit of any startup, correct?
So when you are talking about legal side, see, you cannot say ki, nothing is there karke. I can give you 100 example which even the legal stream or entire the legal fraternity is not having in India, in the world. Because why I'm saying this, I cannot, just tell you some of the things for which even I'm filing the patent for that. So I cannot disclose right now. Probably once once I file, let me complete, sir. Once I file, and I will show you what is the technology available in legal side. So you take the case of Vakil Search, very common company which is you are knowing, you might be seen. Vakil Search has been recognized as a startup. It is making multi-billion business.
So is there any place where I can cross check that my idea can be taken as a startup, or should I need to just think and should need to discuss with any authority only? So is there any place where I can cross check that?
See, what happens since you are in the legal side itself. Normally, what happens whenever a new technology or new things anybody comes up in their mind, they normally go to the attorney, any of the attorneys who are from the corporate or commercial law side or an IP attorney, and they sign a NDA that it should not be disclosed outside. For example, in your own IIMT engineering department, I am giving the services in terms of all the innovation what is happening, whether it is an IIMT university or here in Greater Noida branch. Okay, so they discuss with us. We have a proper agreement, and on the discussion, we can tell you any corporate lawyer, I would rather say, and I can also, we can tell you whether it can be taken in a right format or not. What are the things can be done in this? Before going to the authority, that is what I said. See, once you are creating a company, name जब select करते हो उससे पहले सब कुछ selection हो जाता है. CA कौन होगा, आपका lawyer कौन होगा, आपके partners कौन होंगे, ये सब पहले selection हो जाती है. ये कभी ऐसा नहीं होता है. It is not like that. You jump then you decide all these things. It will never happen. First you will think who are the like-minded people. Then you will think about what idea you are having. You will be sharing that. Whether it can be developed. If it can be developed, then you will be going to your CA to file. CA will say, okay, if I is a CA or a CS, he will say, okay, what are the other things can be done? So before getting into the end result, you will be doing all these things.
Yes.
I hope I have answered you, sir.
Yes.
And when you are talking about legal technology, sir, I can tell you hundreds of platforms are there, hundreds of avenues are there, even legal we are facing. Let me assume in terms of AI. In a simple example, I can tell you. See, all the drafting, all the things now we are doing manually. Am I right?
Yes.
Am I right, sir? So why can't we create a technology like an AI, artificial intelligence? Why can't we do that?
Try to understand. Like, see, my personal in my role, I am a technical guy. I am an engineering student and doing this legal purpose also. But the suggestion which you are saying, I don't think that any person who just did this legal profession or study, this type of idea is easy for him also.
Sir, shall I tell you one thing,
artificial intelligence.
Sir, shall I tell you one thing? I am not a technical graduate. I am a normal graduate. And I have filed 2 patents in technology. This month I am going to file another 6 patents in technology, not only in India, international also. It is not what you have studied. It is what you have learned.
Yes.
How many engineering graduates are filing patents?
Makes sense. Correct.
You will understand. But I don't say you will not understand. Definitely, as a technical guy, you will be understanding better. Definitely right. But it doesn't mean a normal graduate will not understand anything. And for your kind information, sir, for your kind information, I will tell you, India files around 50,000 patents in a year. In that 50,000 patents in a year, 35,000 patents are filed by international company, not by the Indians. Only 15,000 patents are filed. If you cumulative 15,000 patent, you take the top companies, they are filing around 11,000 patent. Balance 4,000 patent, 1,500 to 2,000 patents are filed by IAS and IITs and NITs. Balance are scattered between all the other universities. And for your shocking thing, international patents are filed by non-technical people. Out of that 35,000, more than 80% of the patents has been filed by non-technical people.
Yes, sir. Yes. Makes sense.
So let us not put into the nutshell कि यार मैं technically sound हूँ, technical नहीं पता है तो नहीं कर सकता ऐसा. Idea can be by anybody. You can recruit anybody for technology, na?
For the same, I am looking for the funds. That's why I am asking this question.
See, if you are looking for the fund, your thought should be correct, right? Your idea should be good. आप अगर बोलोगे कि I am going to create yet another platform like a Flipkart or an Amazon or a Snapdeal, nobody is going to fund you.
Makes sense. Yes.
It's Mr. Pawan Tiwari. Am I right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Any other questions, sir?
No, sir. Thanks.
Yeah. I hope it is okay for you, Pawan. Got the answer?
Yes. Yes. Makes sense. It makes sense. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sir, this is Sanjeev. First of all, thank you for this session. My question is that, normally when we are talking about a startup and a new innovation coming in, right, we are normally talking about new technology and all, right? But let's say the technology is not the main focus, but what is main focus, what somebody is trying to innovate is at the business model. So that business model is altogether new. So specific question is that whether that also qualifies under startup.
See, anything which is new here, I told you very clearly, means your specific question is very simple. Whether my technology is a patentable in the form of a utility patent or a design patent, it is not. Already something is available, but I'm doing my services or my business pattern is very raw, unique way. Let me give an example. Tomorrow, Amazon Amazon is there. Lot of platforms are there where you can sell and buy, right? Online. Now tomorrow Amazon takes a point कि यार मैं जब भी डिलीवरीज दूंगा प्रोडक्ट की किसी को भी मैं एक जिंगल बिल गाना गा के दूंगा. Got the point? That is the unique way of presenting themselves.
Yeah.
होटल्स
So,
ऑलरेडी
so
थे, होटल्स ऑलरेडी थे, पीजीस ऑलरेडी थे, लॉजेस ऑलरेडी थे. What Voyo has done, same thing. That is a new concept. वो पैटेंटेबल नहीं है लेकिन जो तरीका है वो नया है.
so that qualifies as a
Yes.
under the startup,
Startup
right?
category,
So
yeah.
basically, if I'm trying to innovate in overall, how value is offered to customer and how value is also realized, and there is a uniqueness about that entire thing, that qualifies. So technology is not what we were trying to clarify, sir. Is that technology is not the only thing in which a new startup will happen. It will happen with the business model as well, which you have confirmed, sir.
That is what I told in the first beginning itself.
Yes, sir.
Something unique. Might be a technology, might be your services, might be how you are promoting the thing, might be anything.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Anybody else would like to ask anything?
Please feel free to ask. अगर अंग्रेजी में नहीं हिंदी में पूछना चाहते हो प्लीज पूछिए.
Yes, any other query?
Hello.
Yes.
I want to ask one question. If anybody, any country started some new kind of business, yeah, or we can say entrepreneurship or any kind of business model. If we start in our country, then it is called it can be called as a business or an entrepreneurship.
See, if you are copying anybody's, you are infringing their rights. Because any
Okay.
startup, wherever they are starting up, definitely they have done. If it is a technological startup, they would have filed a patent. If it is a design per se, they would have filed a design patent. If there is something new, unique in there, they would have filed something or the other to safeguard themselves. It means that if you copy them, you are infringing them. It again depends upon how serious those people are. If you infringe in my thing, for example, I am an Indian, I have filed a patent in India, I have filed a patent in USA, somebody in Germany or in UK, where I have not filed a patent, he may copy. But do you think I am going to allow him?
Yeah, true, sir. True.
है ना? So it depends upon the seriousness of that entrepreneur. If he's serious, believe me, आपका शुरू होने से पहले घर बार सब बिक जाएगा.
Sir, अगर हमने कुछ मैनोवर किया, if we do some maneuver and manipulation in that business model, or something then?
I will answer you. जब तक चोर पकड़ा नहीं जाता तब तक चोर नहीं कहा जाता.
नहीं सर, एक वो होता ना, बजाज कंपनी जब थी, उसमें उसमें DTSI, दे यूज DTSI मॉडल, DTSI model in TVF also. So they filed a case against him.
That is
But
what I
they
am
are
trying to
little
tell
bit
you, sir.
manipulated.
मैनिपुलेशन तो कर दिया उन्होंने, लेकिन उसका फाइल किया ना.
Yeah.
So you want to do manipulation, you can do. If you are lucky, you will come out. If you are not lucky, then you will be sued.
Yeah, true, sir. Very true.
And when you are copying international, be very clear.
Okay.
आपने तो बहुत अच्छा सवाल पूछा. I will tell you one beautiful story for this. A real story I will tell you. One of the academia, a particular MTech student, what he did was, BTech and MTech, it's a group of 5 students. What they did was, they started copying the patent which has been filed in Korea, Japan. And they used to take the tools, copied, and they started filing in India. Right? I don't want to name the people, what has happened to them. I don't want to come to that point. But yes, they did it. They filed around 50 design patents in India, 50, within a span of 5 days. They got caught. Grant एक अलग चीज है, grant तो होगा ही नहीं. But they are also being sued. They were sued. The college administration were sued. Because they are filing through college, na? So unless and until you are caught, till then you are lucky enough.
Okay. Sir, I want to ask one more question about means patent registration and all, means patent. So what is the procedure we have to go through to file a patent and all? So
in your college, in your institute, if you are from IIMT, you have an R&D cell. There is Mr. Sanjay Pachori ji, he is an R&D dean. You can meet him. He will tell all the details to you, because it's again a big subject. Technically, for as a brief, I will tell you, if you want to file a patent, there is an NDA signed between the applicant and the attorney. Then there is an IDF, that is called invention disclosure form, that is drafted, that will be submitted by you. On the basis of your invention disclosure form, we will do a prior art search, that whether anything is available in this universe or not. Whether we search in 2 ways. One is called patentability search. The second is non-patentability, means which is published in the journals, other books, various other papers might be submitted. We check that, then we send a report whether this idea can be, patented or not. Once we get that result, then we do the drafting. If your invention is half baked, then immediately you can go for a filing of a provisional. If it is your invention is complete, then you can go for a complete. If you are filed for a provisional, you have 12 months time to complete your application. That is called drafting. Then it will go for examination, publication, hearing, then clearance, grant.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir. I have also one question.
Yeah.
A person developing the different type of games, basically the mobiles games, whether it can be said that I am the going to startup, or maybe he is called that you are going to take a startup.
Games has an exception, sir. See, in Telangana state, Indian government have specifically allocated, just an SEZ and, TBIs are there. For gaming, they have specifically allocated, a particular area, gaming zone. Okay. You can go verify that. You can tie up with Telangana Hub, T-Hub. You can talk to them and you can get a guidance from them. You register your company in T-Hub and you start your gaming company there. If you do a lot of provisions they are providing. And yes, India is very poor in gaming side. And if you are good in gaming, definitely that will be a win-win situation for you as per the current scenario.
Okay, sir. And so any other state is also available, or yeah, only in the Telangana is only one state?
As far as I know, it is the only state.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you for all the queries, and thank you, sir, for clearing our doubts and enlightening us. This was a very enlightening session, and I would like to conclude the session now as it's time for winding up the session. So we conclude our session for today. On behalf of IMT College of Law, with all due respect, I would like to thank you, sir, for your presence as this workshop and deliver such a knowledgeable lecture. Thank you all for being such patient listeners. All of us have learned a lot today on how to develop startup and be successful entrepreneur. It has been a very interesting session. We really appreciate you, sir, for taking out time for all of us from your busy schedule. It's always been a pleasure to have you with us, and we look forward to see you again for upcoming events. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Thank
Thanks
you
a
all.
lot.
We end our
Thanks a
meeting.
lot,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Team and
Thank you, Srinivasan, sir. This is Rohini.
Hi.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. So thank you so much for your stimulating speech on startup and legal and ethical step. And I personally appreciated your approach to encourage students for entrepreneurship. And it was an outstanding presentation you made and solved our queries. Thank you so much for sharing your time and experience with us. We thank you for your valuable contribution, sir.
Thanks a lot for giving me an opportunity. Look forward to have a great, couple of events, couple of sessions.
Yes, sir.
Any possibilities? You can always share my number to your students if they have any queries. But yes, you make a timing for that because normally, every time I cannot attend the calls and get through. There should be some timing. If they have any queries, they can always share to me. I'm
That's
happy to assist them and assist anybody, in fact, rather. Thanks a lot.
it means a lot, sir. Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thanks a lot. Bye bye.